Okay guys, I'm going to do another part about the base building today. I wanted to show you kind of, well, I don't need green blocks for this, but kind of how I lay out a base. Now this is going to be really small, but it'll give you a good idea. So here's how we start. On the very bottom, I do obby. Okay? You're going to have a layer of obby. How big should we do this for testing? Just a 4x4? Alright, there's a 4x4. Let me get a pick out so I can manage all this. Okay, so there's our base. Well, the first layer of it. So then what we need to do here is we need to add some bottom protection. So I do a couple of layers that kind of just look like pancakes, and instead of syrup, you'll water them with just water. Now, that's an inside joke, and my sisters will laugh at that. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll do a couple of these, and we will water these. I'll water them in a little bit. But we'll go up from here, and then I'll go up a couple layers. Well, I'll go up a couple layers, and that will also be filled with water. But I'll wrap that in a box. Okay. So I can go ahead and fill this one with water, and I do have water for this. So I'm just going to make, that'll be an infinite source there. And then I don't think that'll do it up here. It will do it. So, and then more obby. I hope I have enough obby for this. And so then this now is the base of our base. So then from here, you saw me in my other video, you just go up from here. Now, if you've watched Zoolander, which I know is before many of your times, I know they're coming out with Zoolander 2. If you've watched Zoolander, this is a museum for ants, right? Ha ha ha. The people that have actually watched that will laugh at that. So, if you haven't watched it yet, ask your parents first, because I think it might be rated R. Yeah. Alright, so here's our base. Take that all the way to sky, well, almost to sky limit. Say we're at about, we're getting close to sky limit, okay? So I'm going to close in my base. And I do not put slabs on mine. On this server, a slab puts an air pocket. And you can just, you don't even need sand. It doesn't destroy it. It doesn't destroy the sand stacking because I don't even use sand. I just land TNT on top of a slab and I blow it all up. And I land about 8 TNT on top of a slab, and that will get me through obby. So, don't even bother. You can actually wrap a couple of these layers. So you do your first one with water inside there. And I'm not going to put water in there, so I can. We'll make it all official, okay? And then we put that there. It'll be an infinite pool as soon as I close this in. Alright, so we have a layer in there. But from here, you can go up a few layers. And you can just put water underneath that. They're not going to be able to shoot TNT and sand easily down into that spot, especially if you have wall wraps around. So we'll just go ahead. If they're shooting through your walls, they're not going to waste their time going down through your ceiling then. That'd be silly. So the last one, at 255, you want to be placing a block of obsidian, okay? So there's your block of obsidian at 255, theoretically, of course, because this is not 255 high. So we go there, and there is your base, okay? So now we need to protect it. So I will come out 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks here. And then we go all the way up. Now, we won't go to sky limit. We'll go down a couple. We'll just actually down one. So down one. So here is our scaffolding now. So we will go that same 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. So I know where it's at. of airspace. 1, 2, 3. And this certainly works easier when you fly, but guess what? I don't have fly on Molten, and I still did this, okay? You don't need world edit, you don't need fly. Just suck it up and build your base. Okay, match this up with this one. Tear down any guiders that you've done. The reason I'm using netherrack is netherrack, even while I'm flying, is very easy block to break. Say that 10 times real fast. And so I'll just go down here, break these out. Now, one thing you can do, and this will make it nice and pretty, is you can put down, pretend these are slabs. And you know what? I will do slabs just because I know I have. Well, let me use this. If I have enough inventory room, let me get rid of this dirt. Let me craft a couple real quick. That'll be good. Alright, let me go back up underneath this. And so, if I put slabs here, and line it up here. I went too far on those ones. So what we're doing on this is we're going to go ahead and basically pre-place our slabs, and then that way after the walls are genned, they'll have a pretty bottom. If I didn't mess up the alignment on this. And I'll just place the first few just so, well, I went way too far on that again, huh? This base is really small, go figure. Just for testing, though. Just for testing. And these line up all nice and pretty now. Does that look about right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I do this one out 4? Or did I place the slabs at the wrong spot? I think I placed the slabs at the wrong spot. Gee. Alright, well, watch me mess up on that one real quick. That's okay. Oh, I was supposed to place them at 4. What am I thinking, guys? Holy crap. It's going to be a long day. I've got some meetings I got to run to here in a minute. And, that's okay. That's okay. So, we'll go out one further. That was 1, 2, 3. Now we're in the right spot. Alright, so the water will pour down that. Oh my goodness, guys. Alright, I'll be right back, and I'll put them in the right spot. These need to be under the water ones, because the lava will flow next to it, and the first one on the inside is water. Alright guys, not only did I move that back in, I put a couple other half rings around too. So the water will land here, there'll be lava here, there'll be lava here. And so when we gen the walls, we will have a wall here, and there will already be a slab here. We'll have a wall here, and there'll be slabs. So what we need to do now is extend these rings out. So I'll build a couple of these. So we come out one, and we build a ring. Nothing too crazy on it. Now this would be really fast if your base was really, what would we say, a 4x4 interior? Well, 4x4 walls and then 2x2 interior. This part would go real fast. So when we make this ring, I gen corner wraps, okay? So I don't do corner pillars. And I know people might go on and on about how they prefer corner pillars and stuff like that. But you know what? Almost all the bases I see that have either built or genned corner pillars have them messed up. So I say just gen your corner wraps and don't worry about doing pillars, okay? And If you have something like regen walls underneath, closest to your base, you're not going to worry about that. And I'll do that in a video a little bit later and show you how to do regen walls, because really, if you put your innermost wall as a regen, even if they waste their time and get through all of your wraps, they're going to have a hard time getting through regen walls. There's not a lot of people that can effectively do that. And I'm not saying those people don't exist, but if you want to protect your base, you tick them off with some regen walls. That will certainly up the level of protection you got going on. And I don't know how many wraps I've done on this now, but this is going to be the last one I do. So that's going to be water, it's going to be lava. Well, I might need a little bit more than that. I might have to do it out of clay, though, because I ran out of netherrack. This will be lava, so I'll do one more with water. I messed it all up, didn't I? I was making a big spiral. That was my bad. Alright, does that look better? 1, 2, 3. This will be out here. That was kind of funny. It was working out like that so nicely. Alright, so water, lava, water, lava. This one will be water. This will be the last one I do. So I'll just break this last one with some clay. One more out here. And we'll switch to the green clay. It still breaks pretty quickly. And these blocks will all be breaking, so don't worry about doing them in a fancy color. How's that? Hopefully I have enough blocks. I'm certainly not going to do it out of obby. There we go. We're good. Okay, so here's what we do now. Now we pour lava. And something I like to do for the water is I'll just set, like this top part I will have as water. But right now I just don't have anything on there. Boy, am I struggling today. Alright, now I have a water pool. I'll show you again how to water that and how I do that in a second. But for now, we have plenty of water. So what we do now, we pour our lava first, okay? So, not the bottom. What are you guys doing on the bottom? We pour it on the top, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's a lot of lava. You will use a lot of lava, and that's okay. And 16. Pour this again. And our last set for here. I'm not going to be able to gen the whole outside walls, but that's okay. Alright, and then you go down and see how it looks at the bottom. Okay? Now I didn't have enough slabs in here, but that's okay. You kind of get the gist of what's going on. You can see that it fell into the tubes. The lava will actually become the walls, so you have a layer of slabs on that first wall. You have a layer of slabs on this wall. This keeps it all nice and pretty. And again, out here, you've kind of got a spilling mess, blah, 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 but that's okay. I'm not worried about this looking too pretty. Now, here is the next step. This is a very important step. We have to go in and break all of the netherrack underneath of the lava. If you don't do this step, this is very important. So if you're not paying attention, go back and pay attention to this. You might think you know how to do it, but go back one more time and make sure that you're breaking all of these blocks. Okay? And it's kind of tricky because you can't see through the lava, but if you fly, it's not too bad. If you walk around, just crouch all the way around it, and you'll get it. So, we're almost done here. A little bit more. And then for the fun part is we need to pour the water, and that'll actually start ginning the walls. So the first thing we do on that is switch over to a bunch of water buckets, and then you pour. Okay, on this inside one, you might have to pour a lot of water just because it doesn't have anything to push against. And that's why we have lots of extra water buckets. Nothing too fascinating is happening at this point. Let me get some more water. Oh, we won't need this much, but that'll be okay. I'll fill them all the way up. And what I ought to do is I ought to claim this spot and put some chests in there just to make people think it's a vault. Think that they've got a little raid they can do. Alright, so there's that. Next step is we need to break this netherrack. And that will actually do the ginning. So here, let me go down and show you how that's working. When you break that, it gens all the way down. So let me break these. See how quick that netherrack breaks when you're not flying. So those walls are all ginning now. And again, with those slabs at the bottom, this will make it all nice and pretty on the inside. That first one that we've done is almost to the bottom now. This one beat it down a little bit. Alright, so that's going to stay lava at the bottom because of the slabs. That's okay. And so there's those first walls. So let me show you what this looks like now when we do the next layer. One, two, okay. So before we pour the next layer, what we're actually going to do is we're going to get more lava out. Let me switch over to these. And I'm just going to do probably a little bit on this corner over here. So 1, 2, 3. So there's a stack of buckets there. And we'll switch over here and do a stack right here. Well, you know what? That's the edge of my frame, so let me go back this way. Did I do my frame wrong? Oh. I guess I didn't do my frame wrong. I just didn't realize that I switched to green. I don't know if it was blending in with the grass or what, but it totally fooled me. I'm still not going to gen the whole thing just because I don't have enough lava on me. But we'll at least go back to the corner there. Might have enough over here. Missed a spot. That's something too. Make sure you get all the spots. You don't miss a strip. That'd be embarrassing for you especially if you lined a couple of them up in a row. Let me fill some more water where that's flowing down to the bottom. And when you build this at sky limit, it's going to take a while for it to get down to the bottom. So just be patient, and you'll get there. So while this is going, let me just show you again real quick what I do for watering the ceiling, or the roof, I guess. Make sure that you place a bucket all the way along one side and buckets along the other, and it'll fill in except for the one corner. So then you can do that same thing in here. So you fill the 4 across, you fill those across. Now on here it's a little bit different. It won't fill in automatically, but you just place one outside the middle, one inside the middle, and that will all fill in again except for one corner. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4 across, 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Toss one out in the middle. It all flows out except for the one in the quarter. There you go. We'll do the same thing at the bottom. I might need some more water buckets. Now, we'll fill in the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, out in the middle. Underneath, we need to water each of these spots. I mean, you get the idea. Cover all those. I'm not going to do it. I'm being lazy today. Did we miss our corner over here? I did. Okay. Go back up to the top here. And let me get some water buckets one more time. One thing you need to do to protect your obby from airbursting is to make the water double thick. So what I'll do here, just because this is the lazy way to do it, is you just put water buckets on each of these, and that will push it out one from the edge. The better way to do it is place some blocks, and then you can place the water on top of those blocks, and that will protect the corners better. But for all intents and purposes, you can understand what I'm doing here. Let me fill the water back up one last time, and then we will get going on some genning these last walls. So this next set will actually gen 2 walls at the same time. So make sure you have your water going. So see how that works now. Now we have a pool all the way across here. I do have these ones that it's not going to be perfect on just because we got here. So again, just place a block and you place a water source there. But let's get genning on these real quick. So we toss our water here. Here, this one will run down now. So you don't even need to use that much water for this. In the corners, you got to place a couple. And here. Go back to the corner. Oh, that's all we'll need to do there. There. And then what do we do now? We break all the netherrack. Okay? And that will now gen down both sides of the wall. So now we have 2 walls genning at the same time. If you're doing tons of these, your frame rate will probably drop pretty good doing this stuff. And boom. I guess we don't have to go all the way to there. Did I get these ones? Not yet. And our walls are now genned. And if you take a peek inside while it's doing this. Oh no, do you see what I did wrong, guys? So look how pretty this wall is right here. And that's genning still. But look what I did. And this, see, I did that on purpose, ha ha ha. I wanted to show you if you mess up your walls, why it doesn't work right. So see how there's all these holes in here. There's holes down here. There's holes at the top. What I forgot to do is I forgot to break the blocks underneath the lava source. So we have our good wall that we broke it on. We have our bad wall we didn't. Good wall we broke it on. Bad wall we didn't. Holes all over the place. So if you mess up genning a wall, it's a nightmare. I mean, you can see, imagine that's all the way from the ground to the sky limit. You would have a heck of a mess to clean up. So I don't know if you can fix it just by breaking the blocks here now, but we'll try that real quick. Just because I forgot to, we'll test it out, but I don't think that's going to help us now. So, oh, I hit another block. But I don't think it works because our flowing lava's gone. And it's not going to go back into those spots, so it won't gen. We'll take a quick peek, though, and just see. But I think those walls are kind of ripped. See, that one didn't ever fill in. So make sure you break the blocks underneath the lava. At the beginning of the video, I told you that was a very important step. If you weren't listening then when I told you to listen, go back and watch it again. Because that's exactly what you'll get. You'll have a messed up wall. So you might have seen those on some bases. It doesn't look like they've genned in their walls properly. That's exactly what they did on one. And it just wastes some space. So now what you can do is you can either reuse these lava sources and take them out to this outside ring. And then you can fill that in with water. Or you can just leave this lava. I mean, some people like to alternate it lava and water. But if lava's hard for you to get because you can't fly, don't have a good spot, or home saved in the nether, you can just reuse that stuff. So, hope you guys like that. This needs to be extended again all the way to the ceiling. Look, there's a little acrobatics grinding platform there. That's not even mine. This can go to the ground. If you put some floor protection in, you can put more layers of floor protection in than I put in. But you can also, if you explode this to bedrock, you could extend these floors all the way to bedrock. That will help with the floor protection. If you have all your walls and your base to the ground, there's no need to put in floor protection. But doing that can be very expensive. Mining it out or using TNT can take a while, and it's sometimes hard to do that while you're building a base, especially if it's at the beginning of a map. So hopefully that makes sense, and I'll see you guys around. Hopefully this will get us some better bases on the server, and for reset, this will hopefully help a lot of people out. So take care, guys.